what am I doing today? Thrifting Amish. Now, what I mean by that is I'm going to go to Amish thrift stores, and both run by Amish and ones that just happen to exist in Amish country. And also I'm going to go to Amish run bend and dent grocery stores. And while those stores are typically thrifty for people looking for food on a budget because it's mostly expired, I've also been able to find resellables, discontinued products there the few times I make the trips out. So I do like to check in on them at least once or twice a year to see if there's any money that can be made that way. So I'm going to take you with me and we're going to see what kind of deals we can find thrifting Amish. Roll the intro. I honestly forgot about this Goodwill that's like one town over on my way into Amish country. So it's not technically Amish country, but it's on the way, so I'm going to include it. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all my stops today because I got a late start. I might have to film my thrifting Amish over 2 days. I don't come to this Goodwill as often, but it has consistently been good to me. So let's see if it's good today. When I do find something at this Goodwill, the price is pretty cheap, although this is a Goodwill that's on the smaller side. I do like to pick up Yankee candle shades, but only if the design on it is really nice, and this one's just kind of generic fall acorns and stuff, so I'm gonna pass. If all 4 of the cat coasters were here, I'd absolutely be picking it up, but there's only 3, so it's missing one. But I'm definitely going to take a video for my niche Instagram and TikTok page, Thrift Shop Cats. World's best boss? Definitely not me. I hate myself. I have gotten some great beauty scores from this Goodwill in the past, but it doesn't look like anything's going to be that good today. Not far down the aisle, I get my first score of the day, and that's this Purell Pal in original box. I've actually never seen one of these in the original box before. It's only $1.50, and I sold it pretty quickly for $35. Gotta love the truly miscellaneous aisle. You never know what you're gonna find, including a bowling pin. Didn't you used to get a bowling pin if you had your birthday party at the bowling alley? On the opposite side is the electronics, and I found not 1, but 2 Dell keyboard sets with the original mice and little directions for $6.50. I tested both of them with my laptop and they both worked, and I sold each one for $50. This caught my eye because honestly, what is a screaming meanie? It looked like it would be worth money, so I decided to take a chance on it despite the screen looking the way it was, because I thought maybe it would just need a fresh battery or something. I started pressing on the buttons to see if I could get the screen to fix, but I found out why it's called Screamin' Meanie. As somebody that hates being perceived, I just wanted to whip this thing through a window and run away, but I couldn't just leave it here. I had to figure out how to shut it off. Thankfully, the directions for shutting it up were on the back, but when I got home and changed the batteries, it did not fix the screen problem, so unfortunately, I got screamed at for nothing. I'm really not the best at spotting profitable DVDs, but I'm always going to give them a look anyway. Fun fact, I played a man in my high school production of Fiddler on the Roof. I was a bottle dancer because we didn't have enough male dancers, and according to the choreographer, I had a boyish frame. I've gotten some great toys and dolls here in the past, but today it's sorely lacking. I really only want the red dot sight on this Nerf gun, and the price is right for me to get it just for that, so I'll pluck that off and sell it by itself, and then the gun will either be sold separately or I'll send it to the kids' consignment sale. Anyway, here's everything I got at this one little Goodwill, and it's not too bad. And now on to Amish country. It's an unseasonably nice day, and it's perfect to take a drive. I love driving, and I love living rurally. I'd rather share the road with a horse and buggy than a bunch of random cars. First stop is this Mennonite run thrift store, and for once, the horse and buggy parking isn't full. Much like the last thrift store, I don't always find a lot of stuff, but when I do find something, it's usually pretty cheap. What's really cool about this one is not only do they sell donated goods, but they also have a quilting studio and sell all of these homemade quilts. I'm really not much of a quilter or quilt buyer, but I am going to take a second to admire their handiwork. First item I'm grabbing is this pack of card sleeves for 50 cents. It's just a good deal and I could use some card sleeves. And like I said, most of the prices here are really cheap. The problem is you just don't really find a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of housewares and plasticky stuff. The beauty supply section and even the toy section, you know, my faves, you can tell they're kind of pitiful. I've sold this dog before. It's a Fur Real Friends Ricky. They almost never come with the bone, but even without it, it's a really nice robot dog for $3.50, and I should be able to sell it for like 35 bucks. I wish these Thai cat plush toys were worth something because they're really nice, but like they're not. They're just not worth anything. And if you're wondering what my other favorite section, electronics, looks like, here you go. Of course I'm gonna look for some vintage diapers. I just sold a pack of vintage adult diapers for over $100. But sadly, there's none here. And that was it. That's all I got. One for real friend and one pack of card sleeves. I moved on to the first of two Amish bend and dent stores, but to be honest, they're all kind of copy and pastes of each other. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. They all tend to have the same assortment of expired or close to expiring food, light from the outside or lit by gas lamp, and cash only, obviously. This one used to have gas lamps, but it looks like they switched them out for maybe some kind of solar powered bulb. Now, I'm one of those people where it does not seem to matter how much money I make, the frugality cannot leave my body. Gently expired foods do not bother me, and I really wish more people would be okay with consuming them because for the most part, they're fine past the date. Especially things like dry goods and seasonings. Some sauces, cereals, and taco shells don't hold up as well though. Much like we have too much textile waste and we're drowning in our own plastic crap, we make way too much food and most of it doesn't get consumed. So you can kind of think of this place like the Goodwill bins, but for food. Last stop before it gets turned into animal feed or thrown away. You get a good deal and you're helping to reduce food waste. It's a win-win. First thing I'm going to pick up are these non-expired sticky rice bowls. I love a good salmon and rice bowl, so these are perfect. I also grabbed this macaroni and cheese, which had only been expired by less than 2 months, but I have to say it was kind of disgusting and I wouldn't recommend it. Decided to grab this box of chicken seasoning for 50 cents. It was pretty good, but oddly spicy. They also had a ton of cheap Little Debbie snacks. I have tried expired ones in the past and they actually hold up pretty well, but I don't need any kind of snacks this time around. Canned goods are another one I would absolutely not hesitate to eat expired, as long as the can's not dented or showing any botulism signs. This baby formula still has a year on it and looks like it's only here because the can's a little dented. They also have a ton of cleaning supplies and makeup. And the makeup's only $1 a piece, so I'm sure if I wanted to dig through this, I might be able to find some gold. I am going to grab these Dunkaroos though, because you get 6 Dunkaroos for $1 and they're barely expired. Sometimes I find good beauty products here, but I didn't really find anything good. These Celluplex would have been great, but unfortunately they're all expired. Now, Kiwi products are all discontinued, like the brand just evaporated. So these are only $1 a piece, and these will sell fantastic. Coffee is another thing that I think would probably be pretty good well past the expiration date because it's sealed so well and it's dry. And almost all Amish food stores are going to carry Amish foods naturally. You're always going to be able to find bulk mixes and seasonings and stuff to make baked goods. I did find one sellable beauty product on my way out though, this little Thayer's blemish stick, which does not have any sort of expiration date on it, and that sold for about $35. I spent a total of $23.15 on my resellables plus little snacks and stuff for home, so all in all, a pretty decent trip considering that one Thayer's stick will more than pay for everything. I went to the other Bend and Dent store nearby and it's pretty much the same deal. Poor Guy Fieri, nobody wanted to come to Flavortown. Before these tour waters started showing up at like the dollar stores and stuff, you actually used to be able to sell them for a decent amount of money because you could only get them on the Vans Warped Tour. This is an interesting strategy. They made a little snack tree where each individual piece is 25 cents. They got the same thing going on for like candy and other snacks. This definitely blows the gas station prices out of the water. Yet again, the beauty products are sorely lacking. There's nothing good here that's also not expired. Look at these handmade rugs though, that's kind of neat. Sadly, I didn't find anything at this stop, so let's try an old IGA. There's something that's just so cozy to me about older grocery stores. These little prepackaged lunches are so funny to me because they're always random. It's like you get a sandwich, a chips, a pop, and a candy bar for $5. You could probably do this a lot cheaper if you just made it at home, but as far as grab-and-go lunch options go, that's pretty cheap. I come to old grocery stores specifically for discontinued products. And while I did find a lot of good stuff here around the pandemic, I really haven't found much since. And that's going to continue to be true because I left without a single discontinued profitable product. On my way back home, I stopped at a thrift store that's actually really close to the first Goodwill I stopped at. I wouldn't say the prices are super low, but they're not super high either. It's just one of those thrifts where for whatever reason, I rarely find anything. I also can't stand places that put their price stickers over the UPC. It's not hard to see why I struggle to find things here. Their toy section is super lacking. Their electronics section is super lacking. I did thankfully find this hair straightener for $2.50, which is from a brand that is not very common. Hair tools have quickly become one of my favorite overlooked categories, and wouldn't you know it, purple was the half off color, so I actually got it for less. And I sold it for $45. All right, so it did indeed take 2 separate days to get all of my Amish thrifting done. I'm gonna go to this Goodwill, and then there's another thrift across the street. There's an IGA behind this Goodwill that I sometimes find discontinued stuff at. And then maybe if there's time, I'll hit the Amish Walmart. And then that will complete my thrifting Amish adventure. All right, let's go check this stuff out. This Goodwill is much like the first one we went to. Good prices, and I typically don't leave empty-handed. I'm really sick of this trend where the toys are put above the clothing racks. It makes it so hard to shop from, and if they pile stuff up too high, it can slide off while you're trying to dig. Like, I understand they do this to keep unattended kids from making a mess, but this really just creates a new problem. This board game looked really interesting in that I haven't heard of it before. It turned out to be complete and unused, except it was missing a scenario book. Since games here are only $2.50, I decided to take a chance on it. It looks like it sells reasonably well in new condition, so who knows about used. In the miscellaneous aisle, I caught a glimpse of this green wrapper and knew immediately what it was. I talked about these Dial Basics bars in an older video. They were a little beat up and powdery, but I sold all 4 bars for $50. This is one of those things that's neat to look at, and it's vintage, but sadly, it just doesn't appear to sell for anything. They had a lot of Christmas. Anything magic motion or light and sound, I'm gonna look up because it tends to be worth a little more than regular ornaments. I can probably get $20 for this, but it might not sell till closer to Christmas. Next stop was the IGA behind the Goodwill. Again, I'm here to look for discontinued products which tend to show up at these smaller town grocery stores. Mental product bank, dust, or in this case a closeout tag was enough to tip me off. $10.19 is pretty steep for these deodorants, but it looks like I might be able to get $20 or more per stick, so I'm just gonna go for it. At this point, we need to just get rid of any remaining COVID-era hand sanitizer in drink bottles. Like, nobody wants this. Nobody's ever gonna want it. It is a lost cause. I've been on the hunt for a good fizzy drink that's not loaded with sugar since my beloved Perrier Fusions was discontinued a few years ago. These generic looking cans caught my eye and I grabbed a few to try, and I ended up really liking them. Like, I would buy them again if I saw them somewhere. I'm sorry though, what does Mean Girls have to do with zero sugar juice? Here's something from my mental bank and was shared with my Patreon group a while ago. OxiClean Color Boost packs will usually sell for about $20 and up on Amazon. So all of these are gonna come with me. Pringles Mingles looked mildly interesting, so I decided to grab some of those while I was here too. Continuing my fizzy drink quest, I had to check out the drink fridge and I saw something I've never seen before. Apple cider vinegar doesn't sound very good, but it does say tangy, tart, and sweet, and that's everything I'm looking for. For $3.29, this better be good. And much like the other IGA, this one has grab-and-go lunches as well. I don't know, I just think the concept is quaint. I'm pretty darn Midwestern, but I've never heard of Ritz cracker dessert before, and I decided to keep it that way. Of course, the OxiClean didn't scan and I required help. Such is life for a discontinued reseller. I got like way too many fizzy drinks. But for me, it's like a sensory seeking thing. I like lightly sweet fizzy drinks. Soda's a bit too fizzy and sweet, and plain sparkling water or like LaCroix is like not stimulating enough. So I like these sort of 30-calorie sparkling beverages. I like them to be a little tart. My favorite one was the Perrier and Juice peach cherry, and then they discontinued it. And I've been depressed ever since. So hopefully I can find a new fizzy drink to like. I'm a little scared about apple cider vinegar though. But it says tangy, tart, and sweet, and those are my 3 favorite things in a drink, and it's only 30 calories, so if I don't try, I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out. It's tangy, tart, and sweet, but I can taste the apple cider vinegar. And I can smell it too. Oh, no, that's not gonna be the one for me. Let's see if these Pringles Mingles are any good. This is just gonna be a food review channel, I'm sorry. Welcome to Heather's Food Reviews. Today we're doing Pringles Mingles. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. But it's good. When I saw these and I was like, 56 pieces for 150 calories. I bet this is like one of those things where they're hollow in the middle and there's like nothing. No, these are more like a cheese puff. These are good. I was reaching for this to wash it down. Yeah. It's just not gonna work for me.
I don't think Heather sits in a car and eats food and chats would make a very good video concept, so let's get back to the thrifting, shall we? I would have loved to try on this dress just for funsies, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be my size. It's cute though. I had a black and green prom dress. Another sad toy section. I just can't win with the toys in this video, I guess. I would like to say that I unironically enjoy B-Movie, and I bought the DVD when it first came out. The case had some good stuff. I was really interested in this Clinique eye treatment, but not for 20 bucks. That's really not much less than it sells for anyway. Beauty section was nice and stocked though. It didn't take me long to find something super good. This Aveeno firming body lotion is a holy grail product that was discontinued a while back. And in a stroke of good luck, it feels full and unused, so I can list it on eBay. I'm gonna shoot for about $90. Vintage doesn't always mean valuable. I'd love to take this old Suave and Salon Selectives home, but the data just isn't there to support it. Down here I spotted another good product. This was actually one of the first razors I ever had growing up. I'd recognize that clear brown handle anywhere. I ended up selling it on eBay pretty quickly for $35. I also grabbed these Meaningful Beauty hair products too, simply cause they're new and they come with the pumps. I should be able to get more than $4 for them. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go to the Amish Walmart today, but that's because I spent way too much time grocery shopping and buying nasty drinks. So I stopped and got a Too Good To Go bag from Circle K on my way to Amish country. If you don't know what that is, I've done a few TikToks about it, but it's like supposed to be food that's expiring soon, and they sell it to you in like a mystery bag. At Circle K, they're $4 and you're supposed to get $12 or more worth of food. So it counts for thrifty, and the whole thing about this video is it's thrifty stuff. But when I got there, he went to look in the fridge. I picked them up at the store before, and they go in the fridge and get you a bag. But he came out and there was nothing, so he just like sighed and grabbed a bag and just went around the store and grabbed a bunch of stuff. So I don't know what he got me. Let's find out. I just think it's funny that they go around the store and throw whatever in there. He gave me a bag of chips, a ham and cheddar wrap that's good till 3/11, buffalo style chicken wrap that's good till 3/13. What did I say? Like the 9th? And a Hershey bar. 2 wraps, some chips, and a Hershey bar for $4. It's actually a pretty good deal, so like, whatever. All right, that is everything for my thrifting Amish adventure. I feel like I did pretty good. I got something at every stop, and a lot of it was like decent stuff. I don't thrift Amish very often, but when I do, it's usually pretty good to me. Thank you for coming along on this adventure. If you want to see future ones, be sure to subscribe. You know you want to, because I make at least 1 video a month all about my full-time reselling thrifting adventures. Follow me on Instagram for more similar content, and follow me on TikTok for random nonsense. Now get out there, have fun, and find something good.